Good morning, everybody. I am finally back. Hopefully, everybody has had a wonderful week compared to what I had to go through this week. Unfortunately, I had the common cold, and finally, it feels good to be back. I'll tell you. We're certainly hoping for a better light on tech. So let's go ahead, without further ado, and get started. What's up? What's up, fam bam? What's up, guys? This is Chris Muzo here. I'm feeling much better. Still a bit of congestion I have, but hopefully that ends up clearing out. And I gotta say, for this upcoming week, I know there's been a lot of exciting news, especially for, again, a 50 Super that could possibly be coming out. And there's just even more indications that this is going to be very possible, especially with the whole leak of Seasonic's calculator, their PSU calculator, to where they actually showed that if you put in a 5080 Super, that it actually had up of a TDP of closer to the 410 to 415 watt range. So that just gives you a good indication of what we can certainly expect when it comes to something like the Super Series. Of course, there's definitely going to have to be more VRAM. And also maybe it's going to be a bit closer, or probably named as like a 5090 SE, as this is indication that this is more or likely something that is deemed to come out sometime soon. Now, with this whole 5090 SE, I find it a bit interesting because it's definitely going to change up the whole naming scheme when it comes to the RTX 50 lineup side. Because the 5090 SE, you would automatically assume it has the 32 gigabytes. You would think it is pretty much just like the 5090. Is everything similar to the 5090, but it is going to be a bit different here. Now, the streaming multi-processors when it comes to the 5090, if you guys, what's up, Pred? Great to see you. It's 170 compared to the RTX 5090 SE, which is rumored is 110. So you can see the disparity between the two of them compared to the CUDA cores. Now, CUDA cores wise, the RTX 5090 hits about 21,760 CUDA cores compared to the rumored 5090 SE, where it's pushing about 14,080 CUDA cores. What's up, Young Exclusive? Great to see you. Tensor core wise, it's 680 on the standard RTX 5090 compared to 440. So it's like, you can see how much weaker it is, but it's called the SE. It's kind of odd to name it SE. I'm assuming it means special edition. When you hear SE, that's what you have to assume. But the more interesting part is this. Now, when it comes to the RTX 5090, if you don't know, it has up to a 512 memory bit bus compared to what the SE should have, which is 300 memory bit bus. So it's going to be different in a sense where it seems like it's more closer to like a 5080 Super. Maybe they rename it a 5090 SE, or they change up the lineup name, but it seems that more than likely, if they do come out with this whole 5090 SE, you can certainly expect that the pricing is going to be just, it's going to be cheaper than the RTX 5090 for sure, but it's definitely going to cost more than the traditional or standard RTX 5080. Now, for the 5090 SE, you can expect it closer to the range, probably going to hit like more the $2,000 range, I would think. And most importantly, memory-wise, apparently now they're saying it could possibly have up to 32 gigabytes of memory if that's the case. So if that is true, then it won't be that whole 24 gigabytes as originally thought, like how the 5080 Super was intended. I'm just curious to see how they do the whole pricing scheme. More than likely, as I believe that they'll end up pricing out the old hardware, meaning the RTX 5070, the 5070 Ti, the RTX 5080. The 5090 will remain as expensive as they usually are. So this whole lineup, those three cards specifically, you can expect them to try to pretty much clear out those cards, and then they're going to make room for the new Super Series. So that is, I got to say, more of the exciting news. Now, when it comes to the pricing, if everybody's certainly curious about how the volatility is, when it comes to purchasing a PC in 2026. Hopefully, you guys got to check out that Steam Machine build. It was truly a wonderful build, and we only spent about $1,600. We used all premium parts on top of it. Just to give you a good indication, it's still 100% possible to even build a PC under $2,000. It certainly is a volatile time to purchase PC components, as we all know. Not all of us are blessed to have a Micro Center near us. I certainly get that. And for whatever deals that I certainly do find, whether it be a Newegg or Amazon, I will certainly share it with you guys. So without further ado, we're going to go over to the browsing side, and we're going to definitely check out some of these deals. And just to remind everybody out there, I'm excited to introduce Liam Lee's new fans. I will be dropping a video for the members exclusively at first. It's going to happen around probably around the afternoon to the evening. I would expect Eastern time for this new video to drop. And everyone else can certainly watch it by tomorrow morning. It will be released to the public then, which is going to be Liam Lee's new set of fans. They are just gorgeous. They're beautiful and super easy to set up. And I'm certainly excited to share that with everybody here. So let's go ahead and we're going to go take a look at how the pricing currently is right now. I know this is not everybody's favorite subject here when it comes to looking at PC components. So let's go at Micro Center. More than likely, if you have a Micro Center near you, I highly suggest everybody to look at the bundles. That's a great way to start, to look at the bundles. If you look there, that's certainly the best option to start a PC build. Now, there may be some guys in here that are not as interested into the PS5, especially with the whole debacle of them going fully digital. Now, I don't know how you guys certainly feel about it. If you're just coming in and you're just getting into the PC world, I gotta say congratulations. It's going to be a big shift, but it's going to be a positive shift because you'll have more availability and purchases. I'm doing okay. I'm surviving, Igor. I'm still a little bit sick, but I definitely could get through this. I'm about like 80% better. Thanks for asking. So on the AMD bundles, they have the three ones that they certainly highlight, which is the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D, which is the ASUS B650E Max Gaming Wi-Fi. And then they also have the $700 bundle where it's 7800X 3D and 32 gigabytes of Corsair's VRAM and a B650E. And then they have the $730 bundle, which is a 7800X 3D and a X870. Now, when we did the Steam build, we ended up going with the 7600X 3D. It was certainly one of the better deals to go for it, especially if you have a Micro Center near you. Take a look at this deal. Thank you. Wish you a fast recovery. Thank you. I do appreciate it, Igor. I know, I'm sure everybody's probably as shocked. I probably should have notified everybody a bit earlier that I was going to end up going live. Hopefully everybody gets to check it out. And actually, that just reminds me, I got to share it with everybody on Discord to let them know that I am live right now. But anyway, the best bundle to certainly get is the $400 bundle. We ended up picking this up. It was only about $400. Now, we did do the small upgrade, which is going to be the X870 board. A large difference compared to the B650 board. B650 board's great, but a little extra $30. You can get a more upgraded board, just in case if you want to upgrade your processor in the future, and you do get a little bit more extra features, such as the 5 gigabit internet, and also you get the feature of USB-C. You get dual USB-C ports compared to the original, where you have just more USB 3 ports, and you don't have the same networking speed. Let me see exactly which one this features. Now, when it comes to the B650 gigabyte board, it's a great board. Works great if you want to get into gaming, but I believe this is limited to 1 gigabit internet. Now, for some of you, that might not matter. Okay, so this is limited to 2.5 gigabit internet. Thank you, / yes, yeah, I'm recovering. I gotta say, though, it's been hard to sleep. Yeah, it's great to see you, Chartard. I'm happy to see you, too. So compared to the X870 board, the X870 board will also feature the 5 gigabit internet compared to its upgraded counterpart. Let's see. Let me go to M.2 SATA land speed. Okay, this is 2.5 actually. So they're both 2.5 gigabits. So the upgrade was actually 2.5 gigabit. For some reason, I was thinking 5 gigabit, but it's 2.5. But this does have the 2 USB-C ports in the back of it. Let me go to the actual board so you guys can actually check it out. But again, it was a great board to actually work on. Really easy. And I love how simple Gigabyte certainly does make it. So if you're thinking of doing your own Steam Machine build, this is a great option to go. Hidden Bull, what's up? Great to see you. You know, I just remembered that I got to share my stream on Discord, guys. Let me go share it. Just to notify everybody. Let me see. There we go. So if you guys aren't part of the Discord, feel free to join in. It's free for anybody to join. And usually I will update you guys. There we go. Beautiful. So if I get up to kind of blow my nose, forgive me for that. I still am. I got that nasty effect where I got all the mucus pretty much leaving out my body here. So not bad. That would be amazing. Yes, absolutely. Has anybody actually? You know what? I'm gonna put up a poll for everybody here. And if anybody has anybody actually waited for the Steam Machine, or are you, or you know what? The better question is anybody here just not as interested into the PS6 because of what happened with the PS6? Yeah, it is still lingering a bit. You can hear a little bit of congestion, I bet. Here we go. But the good thing is I'm well enough to definitely go and stream at least. I can talk. Because the max I was, like earlier this week, I was thinking going Wednesday, but the max I could talk is like 10 minutes. I was struggling through that. And I felt it on Tuesday, but I managed to try to get the content out to you guys, especially for those who were interested in knowing about the NVIDIA 50 Super Series. Yeah, I think so too. I think more people are interested in the Steam OS more than the actual Steam Machine. Is there anybody coming from PS5? That's why I want to ask. So feel free to answer. You just hit 1 or 2. And that feel free to answer any of you guys. You can put 1 and 2 if you're coming from PS5 and you're interested into swapping over to PC. Let me know. I will love to know. Especially you're trying to. I know it can be intimidating, especially for anyone that is first building or taking a look at PCs. I know it's a lot of tech jargon. I think I'm M4 older one. Oh, okay. Be right back, guys. Let me just clear my nose. There we go. That's better. So, yes. Now going back to it. Now, if you want to save money, guys, on a PC build, again, go with a bundle. It's the best way to build a PC. Now, I know some people had mixed feelings about this one bundle. I'll share with you on I shared it on X, guys, and some people feel a bit mixed because they felt like, man, this is still expensive. But again, you're paying more for like you're paying high-end PC components, and maybe I should have reworded it a little bit different, but it was still a awesome deal though, considering. And it was this bundle here. I'm gonna open up the tab here so you guys can see. And it was a new eggs bundle for those who don't have a Micro Center near you. It's a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. What's up? What's up? And Nena? I'm very happy with my RTX 3090. Yeah, RTX 3090 is still a great card, especially when there are FSR4 frame gen mods that could work pretty decent. I can't find any real upgrades. I just hate new connectors. Yeah, the new 12-volt high power port. Yeah, because that happened really the start of the RTX 40 series. I think some people are certainly afraid of it because every day you always hear news of a 12-volt high power port that just happened or burning up. There's this recent news of one that just burned up. I think this one was on a ASRock, their new power connect, I think, to where it's supposed to trip the PSU in case if it gets too hot, but it failed. Unfortunately, it did not work and still burnt the connector. That's an unfortunate case, but this happens to every type of power supply I know. And I think it's just something that certainly can improve over time. So I'm glad that you're happy with your RTX uh, 3090 or the RTX 4090 guys. They're still a great GPU to have, especially how expensive it is. Because if you guys haven't seen how expensive an RTX 5090 is, so Charlie Tart says I copped a 1 TB Samsung SSD, but the product package was pulverized. The drive seemed fine, but do you think I should send it back if there's no microfractures? I would, as long as if it seems like everything was intact package wise. If it seemed like the SSD was still in its place, it seemed like it was undisturbed from movement, then yes, I wouldn't worry about it. But if it looked like it was disturbed from movement during its package transition, then I would definitely send it back. Of course, that can cause. You might not see it now, but what would happen is you might see premature wear in the on the SSD because of it. So if the solder is broken or not, the SSD, yeah, exactly. As long as if it seems like it was undisturbed, just make sure that that it wasn't thrown out. Ernesto, what's up? Great to see you. Great to see you, Ernesto. It's great to be back. I'll tell you that. So this is a little bit of a high-end one. You have some people that said, oh man, this gets expensive. You expect me to switch from PS5 to a kit like this? And to be fair, this is like a more of a high-end type of PC build because it does contain a 9800X 3D. It does have the X870E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. It does come with 32 gigabytes of CL36 of 6,000 megahertz of RAM, and it does come with a $50 new gift card. Plus, it comes with a 360mm AIO, all for the price of, I think it was $1,179. It's still a very decent price for how much it is because the processor alone, as you guys know, it's worth about $449 for that processor. That board itself is worth about $300 and roughly $370, and the RAM itself is $450. So again, it's expensive. Plus the AIO, I believe the AIO was an MSI. I believe it's either MSI or, well, I'll double check it here. Gam Diaz. Oh, it's Gam Diaz. Okay, so Gam Diaz, they have decent coolers here. We actually just used their case to build. We tested the drive on Crystal Disk Info and it shows the drive is healthy. Oh, that okay. So yeah, then you're pretty much good to go. Pixel, what's going on? Great to see you. Yeah, so it comes with a Gam Diaz cooler, and this is priced at 70. So technically, if you price everything out together, you're paying about the processor itself is about $449. The motherboard's about 370, and then the RAM's about 450. That's 1,269, and then plus the cooler itself, that's $1,339. So you do save a little bit of extra money, about like roughly 200. I know it's not major savings, but it's you're definitely saving something, especially for how expensive RAM is. One Micro Center, it seems that I'm not Micro Center or Newegg. It seems that the pricing is about 470. But they do have a promo code that you can go through to get a bigger discount. More than likely, I'll push it down to 450. And again, this is for CL36. So just got a EVGA RTX 2080 Ti, 11 gigabytes. Oh, really? That's actually pretty good. That's a big change. How do you like it? Because you're coming from AMD as well, right? Because that's what I remember. You had an AMD card, I believe. So I'll turn off that poll. It seems not too many people are coming from PS5, but that does also bring me up to my next gripe. I guarantee you, the same people that that say that they are going to switch over from console over to PC, I have a good, decent feeling that that is again going to happen. That there's still going to be some Sony ponies that end up going to purchase the PS6 anyway. But anyway, what's up, Pixie? Um, I had a 2060 RTX back in the day, 2021, but it was a powerhouse. 20. Oh yeah, definitely was. 2080 Ti was definitely a beast. I remember when I first had my 2080 Ti, and I really wanted to test it out. It was around the same time Cyberpunk 2077 released, and I thought I had a beast of a GPU. It was ahead of its time. It was one of the best GPUs you can get of 2019 to 2020. Oh, okay. Nice. Great to see that, Egyptian. Um, man, how do you feel about, I don't know if you watched it though, but the whole Egypt and Argentina thing, man, that was crazy. But Pixel says, I love it. However, it does have coil whine, but it doesn't bother me much. But anyway, yeah, like I had the 2080 Ti when it first released. Not when it first released, but a little bit after, probably like about 6 months to a year after. And I wanted to really try it because it was ahead of its time. And I thought Cyberpunk, it would breeze through Cyberpunk 2077. And come to find out when I was trying to go through Cyberpunk 2077, it could not. It was one of the most unoptimized games that was released on PC. I'm sure you guys remember this. Back when Cyberpunk wasn't that great when it first released, I was only getting about 40 frames per second, at the most 45. And I was like, man, this card is struggling through this. And it was all because of the unoptimized settings when it came to 2077. Yeah, and right, Igor? And but after, just like what Igor says, after they started optimizing it a bit more, then the 2080 Ti didn't really hit them then. It got so much better. I think I waited like a year after, and it played with no problem. So Smitty Fitty says I went secondhand Gigabyte Z690 Gaming X DDR4 for eBay. Oh, as long as if you got it and it's working, 13900K off eBay. Hey, as long as if you are able to, as long as if you're able to save and be able to do your PC build, that's the most important factor. So it sounds like you saved a lot. That's awesome, Smitty. So you built? Did you turn it into a Steam OS machine? Nina and Milo service says 2080 Ti for me was the lowest I would go from NVIDIA because it's a 3060 Ti level performance, but with more VRAM. Still a good GPU, especially with the Samsung memory. It's a better overclocker. Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a much better in that type of sense. But yeah, Egyptians did what they had to do. They got hacked. The ref got, yeah, and mom died. Oh, really? Oh yeah, it's crazy. I feel truly bad. I feel like that it should have went to. Honestly, I feel like it should have went to Egypt. Later, a lot of people had issues in general. So the coil whine does go away after about 30 minutes, but it's still faintly there. Okay, that's typical. Like when it comes to GPUs, there's always going to be some sort of coil whine, and it's normal. So I get a lot of questions that like, is it normal to hear coil whine? Absolutely. Some cards are louder than others. It just depends on the type of GPU that you have. Now I can say like it depends on the brand. I can specifically say for like a lot of the Asus brands, like when it comes to the Strix, like ROG Strix or the Tough, you'll hear coil whine. The lower areas of the MSI Ventus, you'll hear coil whine. Yeah, but certain cards, excuse me, certain cards coil whine more than others. So I built a Steam machine, but I can't get it to run with the sides installs or it gets. Oh, really? Uh, Twice as powerful. Yeah, absolutely. That I got to test it. I played with the RX 90. I put the RX 9060 XT. I'm kind of tempted to just upgrade it anyway, But again, it's like, why upgrade it? It still works great. But anyway, I was playing Ninja Gaiden 4 to see how well it runs, and man, it's still smooth. And I run it like pretty much on ultra settings, as just to see if how much it would stutter. And the closest it would max out at 1440, 3440 by 1440, around 30 13 ah 3440 by 1440, and it would get like about around 58 to 60. I did. Yes. Thank you, Wasabi. What's up, Wasabi? Yes. I did have to cold, unfortunately. I thought I was going to get through it a lot quicker. A forehand for a PC. Spain and Belgium was a close match yesterday. Yes. I'm not surprised to. It was without a doubt. I knew Spain was going to go forward. Yeah, man, it was rough. Man, I went from I'll buy a PS6 to nope so quickly. I don't mind having digital games. I just have disk drives. But you know what kills it, Waffle? The one thing that certainly kills it is the fact that PlayStation said, yeah, you can play your games digitally, but sorry, you can't play your PlayStation 3 games on this in the store. Because I remember I got a little collection of PlayStation 3 games. It's not nothing crazy. It was like Street Fighter Puzzle and a few other games like that. But now I don't own it no more. Like once it goes over to the next, especially when it goes over to the next generation, I can't play it. That sucks. 93, yes. $93 old price tag. Yeah, I missed that. That's how much it was. Like for this set, it was 93 bucks. I could easily go back to Micro Center and look at the history, and I could show you. It would be really weird to see double digits now, since we got so accustomed to the high pricing. I had them removed to COD Ghost from me twice on my library. Oh, really? Went to a second-hand store and bought a disc copy. And that's the biggest disparity, too, between the two. You can go get the disc for like 25 bucks compared to if you get it digitally. If you get it digitally, you're going to pay twice as much. You're going to pay $40 to $50, which doesn't make sense. PX6 games will eventually make it to P. Absolutely. And, you know, that's what they've been working on, too. They've been working on PS5 emulators. So I've been trying to avoid that cold. I've been working, yeah, on equipment in a hospital. Yeah, that's rough. That is, when you're in a hospital, that's when it's sketchy. I think I caught this from the gym or at work or something. And somebody, but it seems like people at work are getting sick. The only thing cheap about RAM now is the dummy kits. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Wasabi. That's exactly, yeah, exactly. The PS5 emulator. You know how pissed Rockstar will be if we play GTA 6 on a PS5 emulator? Just saying that if you legally own it, I mean, you purchased it, so technically you can play it. There's no law against that. I want Holland to win. Honestly, I want Holland. I like Holland. But they're both beasts, though. I was going to buy that so it'll have the 4. Yeah, hey, I mean, thick girl on Evia. Yeah, exactly. Right / Sony dropped info that they made 48%. And you know the shareholders, when they announced it, their stocks actually shot up. They shot up quite a bit. Oh, is it? Yeah, you know the crazy thing is I don't even have Snapchat. It's been years since I used that. Do I? That's funny. I sound terrible. I know it's crazy, right? How much it changes my voice. I got all kinds of comments about how I sound like now. I sound rough. My voice is still really rough. Pawn Top says you still have a return policy, so if you see a PC laptop with some nice gear, you can always try that too. Good way to save money if you. Yeah, exactly. Again, Facebook Marketplace is great for anybody that is looking to save. Just make sure it's working. When did you buy during this Steam sales? Oh, I bought a lot. Yeah, did you see that? In fact, I could share with you guys. The Steam list. This is what I bought, guys. Did everybody take advantage of the Steam sales? Because I mean, like, this list is insane. I got a whole bunch of games for a great deal, and if let me know what games you got because I'm really curious. This is the list of games that I ended up getting. Okay, but you guys probably can see that. I'll zoom in. There you go, and right here, that is my list. I ended up getting, guys. I spent $147, but I got, you see all the games now I got? Holland got like 20 million followers on Instagram during the World Cup. Yeah, he is. He's hilarious. Hey, he's a hard. Oh, sorry guys. Let me go back here. Yeah, he's a hard guy not to like. I got my 2 terabytes from the pawn shop, but only because if it was dead. I'll be right back, guys. Got some. You get something out? Good times, right? But those were all the titles that I ended up getting. That I bought Shape. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. Egyptian. I bought Shapes of Dreams. Super fun dungeon. Oh yeah. Let me know your recommendations because I love to know what you guys got. Huge. I know. A lot of them are like games that I can play with everybody too. Like Peak, I hear is really good with that. Don't Starve Together, classic. 150. Terraria. Actually, one of the games I didn't get. Project Zomboid. Then I got the special edition. I might as well get it for Elder Scrolls 5. Sons of the Forest, Schedule 1. Heard great things about that game. Mecha Chameleon. $6. Dying, and I see a lot of funny videos based on that. The Disco glass mouse pad mistake I made. Oh really? How is that like? I'm just curious. And ha ha ha. I spent almost that much yesterday when I filled up my tank. Yeah, it's. Do you? I'm assuming. Do you drive a truck too? You didn't. No, I did not. I did. Almost. That's insane though. It's expensive anymore. But luckily, at least gas should be coming down in pricing. That which reminds me, I got to check how the flights look. Like, especially for I got a plan for CES soon already. Time goes by fast. It really does. And I got to see how much it is for the flights because they were charging a lot. Like even from Miami to Vegas, it was like about $500-600 for a flight, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Oh wow, really? I still spend a lot too. I think I just actually just got to get gas yesterday, but I got an SUV. My SUV is like it takes like about $60 to fill. Um, I got Death Stranding 1, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Dead Space 3. Oh, that's a good one. Breakfast 2. You know, I said okay, okay, that's awesome. You guys want to check out Wasabi's list if you don't mind Wasabi? I could share Wasabi's list too. Not Dead Space 3. Oh, that's. Yeah. I actually had that on my list, and by the time I was to go buy it, it was already July 10th. It was only like $5 or $6, I think. And I hear that's really good. I got a message for a racing game. I said that I'll start working on July 20th. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's great to hear. Oh, really? Is it like a big tank though? Is it like something like a Toyota? Because I know Toyota Camrys, they got like large tanks. I'm right across from Iowa. It's $1.27 cheaper in gas than Illinois. Yeah, yeah. Well, for there's reasons why I gotta get gas, and it's because in, we can drive pretty far to different areas. If you want the Kaiju game, it's really, yeah. I remember. I remember. For me, it's like $60. But I also put high octane in it too. But I usually get my gas too, like at wholesale, like at a BJ's or Costco, and I'll pay like roughly, I think it's like about like $4 a gallon now, $4 a gallon, and it's also on like about 16 gallons. So it's like usually typically I'll get like 60 an Alpina B7. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I take 93 too on my car. My car is like mine's is a RDX. Yeah, $60. But my tank's small though. It's not that big. Diesel's great though. Diesel burns really slow because of it. 50, 55 euros everything. Yeah. And that's exactly the reason it burns nice and slow. That's around 420 over here. Oh yeah? Oh wow. Well, that you guys probably go by liters though, right? I can fill my car batteries for a 3 USD. I can believe it. Like a lot of EV cars here, that's what they're like too. You can actually charge up for cheap, but you just can't charge in peak hours. That's the biggest thing. Um, and usually, like if you want to go to a supercharge station, which are like the Tesla stations, they take like a good 50 minutes to charge up to 100%. And if you guys are familiar with how lithium batteries work, it's like once it charges up to 80%, then it takes a while for them to like kind of find the other cell to charge. So it gets slower and slower once it gets closer to like 100%. So that's why it seems like it takes forever for it to get to 100, and why it's so fast from like say a low depleted battery, because there's all empty cells practically, and so many cells need charge, so it's easy for it to find those empty cells to charge up. And but once it hits 80%, then it takes a bit slower to charge up those other cells that has to find. But I can fill my car battery for 3 USD, and I don't go out very much. Go to work, gym, groceries. Hey, your work's probably closed too. I set my phone to stop charging it at 85%. Yeah, it's a good way to save your battery. In America, you still can't go from coast to coast without taking out certain way of the interstate. The infrastructure, yeah, I agree, and that's the thing. Like that's the biggest problem. Like I was thinking about actually driving over, like even the CES, and if I were to do that in an electric car, it would be impossible. I need a gas car to do it. Xiaomi is on another world from Tesla. It takes 13 minutes on a supercharger. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Um, but yeah, speaking of which, on PC builds wise, I know we're getting into the whole car talk too. Intel's, excuse me, guys. Intel's on a whole nother level. The secret is to preserve the cell phone battery, not to update your OS. There you go. Wasabi's thinking. These are like the better bundles to go for, especially like if you're trying to save a little bit of extra money. This is actually a great kit for those who are creators and gamers, which is $450 for this Intel 270K Plus. And one of the things I shouldn't be drinking, right, is like coffee. I know when I'm sick, but yeah, you can't help it. I make sure I drink plenty of water after. Hybrids are nice. I recently helped his buddy replace and upgraded his batteries on his Prius. Oh, really? Yeah, you did the big battery? You did the large big battery? 44 miles per gallon now was 30. Oh, really? That's crazy. Yes, it does. It does help. It does really help. Like I know they say like you're not supposed to drink coffee or coffee like with milk in it, but I do it anyway. I just can't help it. I gotta have milk in it. I don't really like sugar in my coffee though. How do you guys like it? Do you prefer milk or sugar in your coffee? I love to hear Wasabi's version. Oh, speaking of which, Wasabi's list. I want to share with you guys his selection here. This is what he picked out. Hey, let me see. Right. Oh, it won't let me. It won't. Sometimes it's like that. I know what it is. You know what? I know what to do. I'll open it up in the browser. I can't live with alcohol. I'm a tea guy. Oh, really? Heavy cream. I had I had 5 tablespoons of sugar. Wow. I drink coffee when I'm sick. I use French vanilla creamer. Oh, okay. Me too. This is his list of games he ended up getting. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I saw mouse too. I was thinking of that. Excuse me. That's better. Oh, okay, okay. Teaspoons. Yeah, I always saw it. For some reason, I always saw teaspoons like lowercase. Oh, that's right. Oh, because for us, we just put TSP. Yeah, because I was gonna say 5 tablespoons is a lot of sugar. Excuse me. Now I gotta drink water. Okay. Now, so for you guys, I want to let you know there is a video coming out soon. It's going to be based on the new Liam Lee fans. I actually got them right here. Definitely excited to share it with you guys. We got the SLINF Flex. They're brand new fans. So there will be a video released for the members. It'll be out a little bit later today to show you how they work and how to set it up and everything, and what I think of it and how silent they are. Also, it'll be released fully public by Sunday morning. I bet you do some cooking, huh, Pixie? So that's funny. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, what do you like to cook? Lily has made some nice products. Yeah, I'm really excited to share it. That their new fans are wonderful. I gotta say, you guys are gonna really like it when you see it. And super easy to set up. It's as you guys know. I know some of you guys really don't like how Corsair does because they lock you into their ecosystem, but Lee's nice because you have flexibility. You can use their software, their L Connect 3, and it's so light compared to using something like IQ. Um, and I could say that's what I certainly like about it. There's no extra hubs or anything that you have to hook up to. Um, so for some reason that made me miss EVGA. Yeah, EVGAs were some OGs. That they bring some great times, don't they? They truly do. Um, but yeah, I gotta say, like, if anyone is building, I highly recommend 270K plus. Of course, to get the best optimization out of 270K plus is having higher RAM speeds. Good morning. I can build a Steam machine for a 700. I bet you can. I can believe it. Are you gonna go full? Are you gonna try to go mini ITX? Because that's the next project I have in mind too. Is I want to do another build, but make it like much more into a smaller case. I'm thinking fractional design. We could go, and probably do that project sometime soon. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the machine. I love how it performs, and I know for sure, an Ellis certainly doesn't like RGBs, and doing the Steam machine build completely without RGB certainly set a precedence. I gotta say. I want to see what you do for ITX. Mine's get yeah, sure, sure. Um, I know that's the biggest indicator. I'd say the trick is trying to get the proper ventilation. Uh, I think that's the biggest issue. I if I'll try to find different ways. I have some ideas, but once I get them pretty much published, I'll have a video based on it. SS Upd has a 14.9 liter case that works with ATX PSUs. Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty decent actually. Um, but yeah, like there's a couple, like I said, that I had in mind. Uh Jones Bow, I think is the case. Is it Jones Bow cases? I always mix up their name because it's such a weird name. The case. It'll autocorrect me. John's Bow. Like a case like this, they have at Micro Center. And if we're getting closest like to more like Steam Cubish, it would probably be the M4 Black. Because this is a very interesting case. Maybe something like this. I feel would be a good idea to work on. Probably something like that. I like that wood trim. It is nice. I got the 1000 watt Corsair SFX regular size. Ah, okay, okay. Not the okay. That makes sense. Yeah, and that's exactly what's important is like the power supply. So a lot of short builds like this, like the SFFs, they'll recommend SFX PSU. Like this one recommends less than 125 millimeters right down there, if you see that. And the max is 230, so it's a bit tricky there. A lot of cards are a lot bigger than that. So we would have to um, take a look. I'm curious. Like if we were to put a monster, say 9070 XT, I wonder what the smallest one would look like. Like a let's go lowest price. Uh okay, let's see. I'm just gonna look at this Oris. And I believe let's go to specs. I bought the Asus PA602. What did it? Oh, really? Yeah, it's starting to get popular. The whole wood trimming. Oh, nice. 5060, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 and R5 4500, and the Thermaltake 500 watts power supply. 512 gigabytes NVMe Corsair M-ATX case 300 liters, and M-ATX motherboard. That's the ASRock. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I thought was going to pop up originally. Let's see. It's so weird how the specs don't come up. Do you remember what your specifications are for the size? Let's see. This one is the length is 339, so this wouldn't work. See, this one wouldn't work in there. So let me try the. I'll look at the Tai Chi one. Tai Chi 9070 XT. I used the Steel Legend in my M-ATX build. Oh, that's pretty dope. Looks like MSI is finally releasing. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be an awesome case to honestly deal with. Let's see. Oh, I bet. I should really try to reach out to try to see if we could get one in. Probably gonna have a hard time. I mean, a lot of DPC manufacturers are struggling as it is. Let's see. It's so weird they don't have it listed. 250E. It's probably going to be on the photos. Or maybe up here. Keys, where is it? Oh, right here. Never mind. It's on the bottom. 330. Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. We found it. It's 330. So with that, so for that Jones bow case, we need at least a 230 max display card length. Um, that's a big difference. So it has to be really small. It would have to be like a 9060 probably. That would go in there. Or you know what? I should look for the if they have a SFF 9070 XT. Let's look at that. Just out of curiosity. Pre-built. I'm not looking for pre-built. Power Color Reaper. This one says. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay. Power Color Reaper. We'll look that up. Power Color Reaper. 9070 XT. And see see if we could get that to fit in. Excuse me, guys. What switches are on the keyboard I got? The one that I do have now. They're optical switches. The Cooler Master ITX fits a 9070 XT. Oh, okay, okay. Hmm. Uh, have you? Here's an idea, Hidden. Have you tried like thinking of like looking up? It's going to be more expensive though. Trying to use things like fanless products, like that. The only problem is like once you go that route, that's where it gets a little more expensive. Like if you like a Seasonics fanless PSU, would be a great option, I think. And trying to get like maybe a fanless CPU core, like try to go everything fanless. But again, it could be costly though. That's the thing. Because I think it would help it dramatically. Uh, let me see. The one that you're using. Let me see. Thanks, Simplicity. Appreciate it. Let me see. Let me go down here. And we're going to look to see the size of this. Okay, so this one's a bit smaller. If you use the brackets 304 without the brackets 289 millimeters. Awesome. Enjoy your lunch. I'm looking here while I play the new Pal World. Awesome. How is Pal World? I kind of miss it. I kind of want to get back to it. I was playing it earlier in the year before version 1. I have 1. Uh, you have 1200. What white GPU do you need? What are you trying to do? What kind of are you going? Because the big thing right now seems a lot of people are interested in going into Steam OS. If you are, I would suggest getting a 9070 XT. That's white. Or if you're thinking of just like a standard GPU, I mean, like, are you going to be using it for editing or anything? Because I feel like everything like that certainly does matter a lot. On depending what you want to do, if you are trying to use it for like content creation or anything like that. I know it's basically Minecraft with the yeah, yeah, it is. But it's fun though. That's funny, Bob. I love how you can capture people even in the game. For the money, you can either go 5070 Ti or yeah, absolutely. And I agree. 9070 XT, I just hate how it gets all the flack that it gets. Yeah, I mean, it's a popular item. People are really interested in it. especially size factor. They always compare it next to like an Xbox Series X because it's literally half the size. uh, you gotta love being sick. Back and forth trips. So, Animal. I'm having trouble deciding if I play at mostly 4K. Should I go from the 7800 XTD to the 9800 XTD? The angel on my left tells me no. The devil says yes. Not necessarily. I would say the processor is not as necessary. The best thing to do if you're trying to push up to those levels, what type of GPU are you using? Because that's certainly what matters. Like when it comes to pushing 4K more than anything. The 5070 Ti sometimes better. I have both. It just depends on optimization. If you notice when Nvidia has a game that's optimized for their games, they don't optimize it for anything. Not Nvidia, but AMD. They don't optimize it for anything for Nvidia. And so it kind of goes the same. If I didn't have a custom built Steam machine, I would have bought one, but I'm thinking about installing Steam OS on it now. But I forgot I went to Best Buy. Oh, really? Oh, okay, okay. So, and theirs was on par with the 50, so I had not worth it. So I got Gigabyte's RTX 5080. Oh, so you should be pretty much good. What type of frames are you trying to pull out of? What type of games? Unless you only play CPU bound games. Yeah. The GPU is like mainly the high point. Steam OS didn't play right on my Bluetooth adapter. Kind of needs that. Oh, really? You know what? I'm gonna test that too. I know the biggest thing I can say some of the findings were that SteamOS, as of now, like when it comes to the ROG Ally specifically, it doesn't work with the auxiliary output just quite yet. Not it doesn't work quite right. But I haven't got to test all that stuff out just quite yet. Once I do, I will let you guys know. I'm gonna run a SteamOS kind of review and see how it runs on a pretty much like a PC built for SteamOS. Good thing is it does have FSR4 now. So if you guys are interested in taking advantage of FSR4 into a Steam machine, that's certainly a great option for you guys. So, Chris, I do usually do 90 FPS or more on Division. 4K 90, Arc Raiders 4K 90, Tarkov 4K 90. I like 90, but it's a weird 90 is good actually. It's great. If you're trying to get more, you just have to unfortunately probably adjust the resolution to see if you can push higher. Test it that way and see if it can go above 90 then. See if you get frames higher than 90 because I'm curious if you have your system locked at 90 because that can happen too. I have not tried the latest SteamOS and they say works fine. I've already hardware. Yeah, I'll let you know because Steam OS 3.8 is a big difference. Excuse me. 7800 XT has FSR 4.1. Even no problem, Animal. I just hope you get what you're looking for. 7800 XT has FSR 4.1 now, even in Linux. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's a great thing, great time to be on Linux. And they're working on optimizations when it comes to NVIDIA on Linux as well. So for anyone that is thinking of switching over, just give it time. And the optimization, I mean, NVIDIA does work on Linux. It's just if you're trying to take advantage of things like DLSS, that's what's the work in progress. Speaking of weird Linux quirks, on July 4th, I had a family around for the series of Jackbox TV Gaming. Every game was randomly flickering. Come to find out, it's just a force old. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, there's newer Protons out too. Bob Marcus, I'm glad you brought that up. They do have Proton version 11 now. So if you are on Linux, they do have a version 11. Make sure to upgrade your drivers. Um, a 5070 Ti is, yeah, absolutely. It is the GOAT. 5070 Ti is the closest card to compare against on NVIDIA's side for 9070 XT. Absolutely. 5070 Ti is like pretty much neck and neck with the 9070 XT. We need a comparison. Yeah, absolutely. TYRX. Okay. You want to see all the curved screens pretty much go at it? We can certainly do something like that. Put a 9070 XT on a $700 Nvidia card and tell me who wins. Yeah, that's actually a great challenge. In fact, actually, I should do a video based on it. We have 9070 XTs, we have 5070 Ti's. Well, we can put them neck and neck with each other. I love the ideas, certainly, guys, and we'll actually put that. I'll actually write that down. I'll copy your guys' notes. So Dark Style wants to see this. Let me know what you guys love to see, because I'll definitely write it down so that way I can make it. I can put it into the making. I know I still owe you actually hitting on the whole memory testing, because that's something I still. It's been really busy with all the new releases with Lee and Lee and everything. So, but again, if you guys don't know, there's going to be a Lee and Lee video dropping by tomorrow. For the members, it'll drop as soon as later today. So keep your eye out. If you're a member already of the channel, you can feel free to watch it then. Great fans. Awesome fans, I gotta say. 7800 XT could be had for $500 before FSR 4.1, now it's 800. Yes. In real life scenarios, 9070 XT and 5070 go blow for blow. Like I said, I both. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Smitty. I'm glad you love the channel. Are you asking about games to test on your Steam box? Yeah, we can do that. Any games that you want to know in particular, see how they run on Steam box compared to Windows, feel free to let me know. This is going to be based on a 9060 XT that we will be running it. It is the 16 gigabyte variant too. 9070 XT and raw raster is going to go blow for blow. By everything else, nope, it's 5070 Ti. It's a cost-effective option for the famine, especially for the fact that I got to ask you guys, because I'm going to post up actually a poll for you guys, because does it? Because this is like actually more of a serious question, because Nvidia pretty much has put gamers on the back burner, right? So does that kind of affect your interest in purchasing Nvidia products? Does the new Nvidia make you want to change brands? Out of curiosity, guys, because that's going to be the poll. Feel free to vote 1 or 2. Does the new Nvidia make you want to change brands? Meaning that they're so focused on not DLSS. They're so focused on AI that they kind of put the whole gaming division on the back burner, the whole GeForce division, so that they said that more than likely we probably won't even see new cards until 3 years, they said, which is pretty wild. Does the new Nvidia make you want to change? Wow. And you see how strong of a brand Nvidia is? You still have people that say no. Like, they'll still go to Nvidia. That is so interesting. That is interesting. It just shows you how strong of a brand Nvidia is, how much confidence that you do have in them. Because you know what it is? And it's one thing we can say for sure. When it comes to Nvidia, yes, I agree. AMD is also focused on AI. Hardware Unbox has made a video on where the 5070 Ti only average 3 FPS more than the 9070 XT over. Oh yeah, absolutely. I could be wrong, but Nvidia owns the market with software. Ingredient does not make me a happy gaming consumer, but we don't have much of a choice. AMD, yeah. And doesn't it make everybody mad here that the fact that AMD had all this opportunity like for almost 2 years ever since the release of 9070 XT to do something about it, and they chose, let's go to we want to compete with AI too. I want to be the one to produce something for AI. That I know that had to kind of rub people the wrong way, especially they had all this opportunity and they say, you know what? We don't want the opportunity. We don't care. We want AI too. So I only side with NVIDIA because I'm just a gamer. I'm also a game developer and an anime collector. The GPU encoding in my is great on NVIDIA to transcode my Blu-rays. So Smitty 50 probably depends on your card and my Tesla. Okay, okay, that sounds right. I can say they're really close. Both cards are super reliable though. Um, I can say for certain, if anybody still has the idea of the old AMD, back of the 5 when the 580 was out, of the old Radeon software, I can attest. And anyone here that has a 9060 or 9070 XT can certainly attest to tell you that the Radeon software has improved tenfold. It's actually just as smooth, if not smoother, than NVIDIA at times. I do a little. Let me see. I like both. I used the 7900 XTX before the 5080, and I loved it. No issues based on the card. I just wanted the LSS. If Nvidia does it, AMD is not far behind like a puppy dog. It. I gotta. You know what? I do gotta say this. So I'll close the poll. Seems like most people wouldn't switch over. And the next poll is if Nvidia, because this is true though. I'm glad you brought that up. If Nvidia releases Super 50 Super Series, do you think AMD will answer? I would love to know if you guys think that they would. If Nvidia releases the 50 Super Series, do you think AMD will answer? Because, as you know, AMD is more. They're not the ones to be. It seems like for some reason they're not the ones to release something first anymore. It seems like they're more of the type to follow up. No, wow. And then again, some people wouldn't be surprised. I don't think AMD will answer. They don't sell enough GPUs. Steve says, yeah, I think they will. He believes that they will. And their next gen cards will probably make a nice leap. I think so. I think they'll be pretty much neck and neck when it comes to ray tracing. A past generation, as you know, they're going to probably be like behind a generation at least compared to 2 generations. It seems like it happens in just about every generation when it comes to it. AMD needs to make a flagship compete with the 5080. Don't try to beat the 5090 with the 5080 line. I agree. 5080 should be their focus. It makes more sense because most people cannot afford a 5090, especially today. Pixel, welcome back. How would they answer? 9070 XTX or with 24 gigabytes? That's a great answer. Um, I think they would answer probably 24 gigabytes. Probably more with extra VRAM and probably more stream processors that kind of compete more with the whole ray tracing side. I think the Nvidia Super will be super. I do agree with Tina. They will be certainly super prices. They're gonna be. They're gonna say. I can see it now. They're gonna be like, the 50 series Super is now gonna be 50 series Super is gonna give you the super prices. We're gonna give you the wonderful RTX 5080 Super for a $2,000 at the minimum. 4080 Super was around the price of the 4080. Yeah, that is true. But remember, the VRAM is going to be pushed up, so they're going to say it's more expensive to produce because of it. That's the only thing. I don't see them making it equal. Where is the 5070 Super? It's gonna happen. I know some people are really curious about that. It will happen. I believe it will. I remember somebody said that the RTX 2080 Ti would be the minimum for Nvidia. And I personally think the minimum was the 2070 Super. I think it will be 312-bit bus and 24, and that's pretty decent. I don't know about G6 though. You really think they'll go down to G6? I still think that they're going to have to go G7 because again, when it comes to the board, it's going to be too expensive for them to produce. Maybe. Because I'm just thinking, you have to compare it with the price of the RTX 4080 then. I mean 4090. That's what it'd be close to. I wonder if the prices on the 5080 Super makes me think of the 5080 will be used. It won't be useless. It still is a great card regardless. I think people will look at the VRAM more than anything for sure. They found a card that they can make and sell for half the price of Nvidia. And yeah, I heard about it. I heard about this card. I heard it's amazing. And I saw it, and I don't know why I just never walked over to it. I saw it back in CES, and I was thinking, it's probably just a typical company trying to grab attention. But man, I should have went there. I think it's like called the Bolt, right? Like the Bolt some, Bolt 7 or it has that Bolt name in it. We need the RTX 5080 Ti Super. I don't know about Ti, but it's probably going to be RTX 5080 Super. I would be calling the RX 9800 XT if they could make the 9800. That would be that's a good name because then it would kind of resemble the 98X3D processor, 9800X3D processors, and that's like a good. That would be a great name for them to kind of bring up because it shows it's like part of their gaming line, like their flagship. But I do like that idea. 512. Now that would be a lot more closer to like a 4090 if that's the case. I mean 5090. I used a 1080 Ti for 7 years, and we need a card like that again. If we had a 60% jump over these 9080 Ti, can you imagine? And that the problem is that they're just selling hardware because it sells. It's the new generation, and they know that's going to sell no matter what. So all the updates have been more incremental than actually like a large shift over as much as we want them to. I'm thinking the 5080 Super is either going to be $1,500 or $2,000. I don't think 15. If it's 1,500, it could be, and that's going to be Founders Edition. But it's going to be, but for actual AIB, it's going to be closer to like 2,000. And I agree, it's not going to be $1,000. Bolt needs to partner with Intel to get it. Hey, they could. They certainly could. But Intel, I'm really curious what their plans are, especially when it comes to the GPU market for 8-pin connector, 8-pin connectors. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what it looks like here. So if you guys are curious about this bolt, let's see. I'm going to show you. It's a very, very interesting GPU here. And it looks like this. I'm going to load this up. It's going to be on guru3d.com. It's just making sure I'm a person. No way I paid $2,000 for a 5080. I'll save and put for the next gen. This is it. HDMI 2.1, 2.1 has its PCI Express Gen 5 high performance CPU, and of course the difference is it's used LPDDR5X, so it's a bit. I think that's like the biggest thing that is different between the two. Two DDR5 SODIMMs for the expanded memory, and then let me see. Now it says that it's announced successful test of Zeus GPU architecture, and it says that they claim that performance up to 150% higher than the NVIDIA RTX 5090, which would be absolutely insane. So I'll turn off that poll for you guys so you can see. But it seems that the majority does not believe AMD will answer. The Super will have to sell for more than the 5080 knocked. Yeah, yeah, more. That's true. That is true. Is that how much it is now? It's at 2,000. Insane. I paid 1099 for my Gigabyte 5080 overclock from Best Buy. I can't do 2 grand. Be right back. Upgrade. Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Upgradable VRAM. Help my friends 50. Oh, that's a. Just keep it off. If his cables melt it, have his PC off. Do not turn it back on. Very simple. Is it just melted from his cables to his GPU and that's it? Because if that's the case, more than likely is it's going to be his cable, his PSU, and his GPU is going to have to get changed. I think I paid around $1,000 for my 1080 Ti back in the day because it was hard to get because of Ethereum. Because that's, yeah, back in the day, that's when they were mining. My cables have not melted, but at the same time, I'm not pushing my GPU to the maximum limits. I mean, it gets hot enough as it is. I see how hot. Thank God I have an AMD GPU. I mean, it can happen to any GPU, to be honest. Yeah, exactly, Pixel. Just get an RMA at this point. But then again, I paid $900 for a Pentium 4 HP desktop. Yeah, it's crazy, right? How the price points have that changed that much in that sense. Sorry, little harshness there. Hey, then I remember how it's crazy how the price hasn't like really jumped up since then. But I know it's going to be a big panic if that's the case. Can you imagine how if it really kind of caught up in pricing in that kind of sense? And then it would be truly unaffordable for anybody to actually game. It just makes no sense. It's like to watch everything else go in pricing. Like just compare a house back in 2004. How much did a house cost you back then compared to what it is today? So, yeah, AMD's awesome. The first computer bug was an actual living bug, by the way. I could, I could believe it. Asus tax is also insane. Also, my true dream GPU is either the 7900 XTX or the 9070 XT. Great cards to go for. Now, the great thing is 7900 XTX can also do FSR4. I'm certainly happy about that. Now, anybody that does have the RX 7000 series, let me know how you are feeling about the new FSR4. Are you seeing a jump in FPS? Are you seeing better textures? I'd say like the biggest problem I had with FSR3, and I can certainly, I believe everyone else can certainly speak on this. FSR3 had the biggest issues when it came to softness. Like when you had FSR3, whether if it was set on performance or whether if it was set on quality, the softness um of the uh of the FSR would make it kind of hard to play because it wouldn't be as clear. It would look like you're playing on 720p on a 1080p monitor, for example. I bought a house in South Florida for 130,000. Now it's worth 400. Hey, that I 100% believe that. 100% believe it. I'm in South Florida and I know how much the houses are here. I paid 890 for tough. Yeah, because I was about to reiterate on that too. I remember like there was houses like 160,000. Now they're easily pushing like way over that. They're like almost some of the houses are like 8 or 9 times more than what they were. So I need to try gaming on the R9. Yeah, that would be very interesting on their actual workload GPU. That would be interesting. Asus has a low failure rate, the taxes, because they know that they're good. It's true. I've had, uh, I had very little issues when it does come to Asus products. Uh, they're very decent for what they are, and I gotta say, when it comes to Asus, Um, the only time I've really experienced issues was more motherboard issues, if anything. But then again, that was a while ago, and that was like when first LGA 1700 first released. I was like one of the first people that was affected by the whole backwards, not MOSFET. What was it? The backwards. I was like pretty much like a backwards. What was it? The MOSFET? No, it was something else that was backwards in there, and it caused it to not start up properly, which sucked. But anyway, especially a tough 5090, that thing is the most powerful brick. Absolutely. It's a reason why it's called tough. The X870 Hero BTF definitely has a few weird BIOS issues, but all resolvable. Yeah, that was the other issue, was the BIOS issues. But again, I'm glad that they were able to have that pretty much resolved. I just got a white Asus. Uh, don't worry. Asus is usually very reliable. It doesn't really happen often. Most of the time, it's like usually they're like one of the brands I wouldn't worry about. Like when it comes to putting a PC together, it's certainly one of the least. Um, Z-Man Scar says, "Good morning, Chris Mizo and chat. Thank you for coming in. The tough gaming card of mine is about 5 pounds. That thing is massive. Absolutely. I gotta say, this is a very interesting GPU. If anyone is actually interested in getting it, but I'm curious to see if that they're willing to pretty much go in the market because of it. I had zero issues out. Oh, and you have the god, and you have one of those rare boards to. I can't believe how they're like pretty much like selling out to that point. Steven, you should have seen the 5090 Tough. So when they're talking about I'll show you the RTX 5090 Tough is a brick. Looks like this. Look at this thing. You can see how massive it looks, right? You look like you could literally do some damage if you threw this at somebody. He would definitely do some damage. Which is good. 3K on a board on eBay now. Laugh out loud is wild. Leaves the gaming cards for us if they catch on. That's the biggest thing I would worry about is if you're purchasing any GPUs, especially um, uh, cards that have 12-volt high power ports, make sure you're not buying one that's burnt, because I think that's definitely the most tricky part when you're in the used market. Look at the pins, most importantly, if you're checking physically. I was thinking about getting the 5900X for video editing and streaming and productivity. It would make sense. If you get the 5900X, it would make sense for something like that. Especially if you're looking for the more cores. That's what you need those extra cores for. Yeah, you got to make sure to check the measurements, most importantly. If you check the measurements out there, it's just massive. Let me see. Let me go over to the spec side. The measurements for this. Okay, this is in inches. 13.7. It's so funny because you're so used to looking at things in the US, everything's in inches. So when you see this, it's like you're thinking of metric, like when it comes to the cases. Case it's weird, right? I'll look for the metric number for you guys. If I'm gonna pay anything over 250, it's gotta be new. Under 250, I'll take the chance on used. I know it's dumb, but I kind of yeah. And that's what I worry for a lot of people. What's up, Jamil? Are RAM prices up again? I feel I have to look. To be honest, it seems that they're pretty steady. It went up like slightly on Newegg, I can see, but I think they've just been holding. There's supposed to be like another spike, I know, coming soon. Hopefully, no time soon. But it is rumored. A lot of the companies are kind of warning everybody, yes, that there's going to be a spike coming. So it's 350. Wow, 340 technically, 348 millimeters. So that's actually pretty hefty. I think Takumi actually brought this up to me too. If you look at we have this card in fact, but the Noctua Asus RTX 5080. If you look at the dimensions of this card, man, it's wild. It's bigger than some 5090s, believe it or not. Uh, it's because of the size of the fans. 385. You see, 385 millimeters. So XFX has a huge card also. I think you need bigger. Yeah. Thank you. No, I'm certainly feeling a lot better now. I feel like the hardest thing for me is getting sleep. Because you know how you get that wonderful tickle in the throat for some reason that comes in right when you want to go to sleep? That happens to me. So I'll cough like probably for like an hour before I could get some sleep. And then for some reason I'll start coughing in the middle of the night. Even even when I use like Mucinex and stuff, it seems like it still doesn't put me to sleep. Naps are the trick. That's one thing I lack in. I'm really bad when it comes to getting enough rest. It's hard for me to sleep enough. Chug some NyQuil. Yeah, maybe I gotta try NyQuil instead of just use. I always felt that Mucinex was like the better stuff, like for because it gets pretty much Mucinex out the system. Indica, I IJS. Interesting, but yeah, it's a very wide card. I gotta say, not wide, lengthy card. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Set your alarm. Don't nap for more than 90 minutes, or you'll be more tired when you wake. Yeah, definitely guilty of that. I will definitely keep that in mind, guys. I will make sure to get my naps in so that way I can recover a bit faster. But man, I'll tell you what though, I'm just glad to be back. I feel like it feels like forever, right? It's only been a week, but it feels like it's been over a week for some reason. It feels like I haven't been on for months. It feels terrible, but I'm glad to see everybody's okay. Glad to see everyone's still building, and hopefully this whole drama ends up dying down. This whole digital era is certainly a mess for the console guys because they have honestly no reason to stay on console, right, guys? It has to do with REM cycle. They're like 90 mi. Oh, that makes sense. No wonder why you can feel more tired. I keep about 6 pounds of raw honey at home. The wonderful thing here is we get lots of beautiful honey over from Homestead. And if we stop by and just pick some of that stuff up, I agree. That should help out. I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for some raw honey. And but yeah, let's go take a look at the prices because I haven't got to check the prices in over a week. Laurel honey and lemon balm tea. Absolutely. Love the sound of that. Luckily, honey from local bees will help with allergies. Have you ever, it's really interesting. A buy one. That's one company I gotta reach out to. I keep forgetting to reach out to them. Prices, oh, I bet they will. I feel like it's just gonna make me more sick. Okay, let's take a look at memory. Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's super okay. And they have like so many different mixes now, like how they have them go in different flowers. What do you guys think of that? Like how they have them go in things like lavender and wildflower, and they give it like a different taste. DDR5 RAM will go into $205 for a single stick of 16 gigabytes. Iwin sounds friendly. By the way, I really feel that they will give you what you asked for too. Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out. I'll reach out to them. I'll definitely reach out to them. What do you think about the AI machine at Micro Center? I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I got to look at it to be honest. Okay, so there's still that's Micro Center is pretty fair. 420. It's weird to say fair. for CL30, it's actually not bad. For CL30, 6000 megahertz, that's not bad. Um, it's just weird how the pricing is. CL38 is now 379. So it's not quite too terrible. In fact, to me, I believe it actually adjusted a little bit cheaper. But that kind of scares me too because it's the size um, of not the size, the pricing separation. Because if it's low right now, how do we know the spike's not coming anytime soon? It's the size of a Mac Mini. Send me the link of it. I'm curious. Like for real Micro Center bundles are amazing, but if you buy the part, yeah, exactly. So that's why I suggest, like, if anybody does purchase a Micro Center part, just get the bundle. Even if you don't need a motherboard and a processor, just get it. It's cheaper that way. It's good to have backup. I mean, a 9850 X3D and a nah, that's no good. I mean, it's okay. That's not a great deal. The better bundle is more 9850 X3D. This has the RAM. And that's why I said that Newegg bundle's not that bad. They have a 9850 X3D, same motherboard, and same RAM kit, but this one's about 1100. It's just a bit better of a processor. So that's why it's a little bit more. So for everybody that was coming at that Newegg one, you can see it's not that much of a difference. Is 3060 12 gigabytes still? If you get it used, I hope you get it for, it has to be an awesome deal for you to get it used. Then I'd say get it. I got you, Steve. Depends on your set and standards as far as you go. I think it's okay. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta use the bathroom myself. Okay, I'm back. Apologize for that, guys. So I think that's the link. I came the Anaconda 72. Is that it? Let me see. Anaconda. The Mimpo store. AMD Ryzen Halo, I think it runs on Linux. Yes, they do have it. I don't even know, to be honest, tinfoil. I think it's more of a, I have more of a head cold, I feel like. Because I haven't had a fever or nothing like that either. So Ezekiel, great to see you. Man, it's been a while. I just finished my coffee too. I have not, but I'm currently looking to the off brand, so I will take a look. Oh, it says you can't find it. Or maybe it's not at my local Micro Center. 7800 X3D bundles went up in price. They were like, yeah, I agree. They did go up in price. Yeah, man. I think so too. Yeah, I miss you too, bro. Yeah, it's great to see you though. How's everything going? Hopefully the heat hasn't been killing you guys over in LA. Yeah. How are you feeling, by the way? Um, but yeah, it seems like I don't see it. Maybe if I go to the main page, it'll probably pop up. Let me see. Uh, where is that their AI machine? There's goes the power color. Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely gonna look at. I like the idea of the Polar Master case too. Everything's great with us. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for asking though. Um, that RAM from Amazon. Which RAM? Which RAM kit? Is it the Kalev? Are you talking about Kalev? Because that seems like a popular one. I want to get that, in fact, because ever since Hidden Bull has been telling me about it, like he says, it's really not that bad. It's actually a decent RAM. Oh, that's a RAM kit. Oh, I thought that was the name of the piece, the AI, uh, the AI PC that they had. I'm about to look it up. King Snake. Why do they call it? Why not spell it anaconda, like actual anaconda? Oh, made in Taiwan too. That gives you confidence. I'm more curious about what type of DRAM, SDRAM are they using? I get to see this taken apart. Let's see. Here we go. They have a website too. DDR4. Um, all right, let's take a look at their King Snake. One die ECC. So they got ECC. Um, it makes me want to investigate it more because I'm curious about the. Let me see if I can get some sort of answer here. A new generation. Limited. Man, I wish I could get a closer look. I'm really curious about it. Oh, really? It says ROG Strix. So maybe they have a deal with which does it really? This crisis makes place for small players. I think it's worth it. I got a B650 EF ROG Strix that ran me like 289.99. That's awesome. If you got it for that much of a deal, that's a great deal. 7200 CL34. It's good on an Intel build. Absolutely, absolutely, that would be good. Um, damn, not much information. Let's see about us. I'm definitely checking it. That's interesting. Company profile. I'm going to leave this open and I'm going to reach out to them. I will reach out to them and see if we could get some memory in because they piqued my curiosity. See if we can I love to ask them about their SDRAM. They don't really share too much information from what I see on the website, at least, but they might be decent, especially if it's a company from Taiwan. A lot of brands are obviously from Taiwan, so that would be the pretty much a good memory company to go to. Probably similar to Adana. This is and Baiwan. I think Baiwan has more chance. Okay, I'll reach out. Okay, I'll reach out to both of them. I'll reach out to Bywin and I'll reach out to Amakanda and see what we can get. I think, yeah, a lot of the companies usually they're great people to deal with, um, and I know especially all of you are trying to look for a decent pricing when it comes to yes. I think that's what I need right after this. Can we get Bywin in the U.S.? I believe so. We have Bywin in the U.S. Also, for you guys that are just coming in, we do have this coming in this video. Check out Lian Lee's new fans, especially for you Lian Lee fans. Pun intended. Uh, this is a really awesome kit, and oh, we can't get it. Really, I thought we could get Bywin for some reason. Yeah, that yeah, they don't have any information. But yeah, Lily has this beautiful fan kit just recently released just yesterday, and I can't wait to show you guys what it does feature. For you wonderful members out there, it will be released a bit later today, and for those who are not members, it will be released as soon as tomorrow. Ah, oh, I got this big pull in my eye. 5 thick blankets and deep sleep and sweat it out. Yeah. I mean, this is probably like technically this would be the 8th day that I'm going through it. So I'm definitely in the recovery stage. So at least when when the wonderful mucus is coming out, it's more watery than it is actual mucus. So that's a good sign at least. But yes, I feel like it's more my sinuses swollen. And one issue that I have here is I have like a what's it called? I have a deviated septum in one of my nose, so my nostrils. So I definitely have to get that fixed. So that's I think one of the reasons why it's a lot harder for me to kind of go through it. Yeah, that's true. The skin is the biggest organ. Drop my phone before sorry. Guess that phone said no. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, Micro Center kits, like I say, they're definitely the ones to go to if you have a Micro Center near you. Um, if you, even if you're just getting a CPU or a memory, just get the kits because it's cheaper that way. If you get the individual processor, it's it's kind of foolish because you're going to spend $400 or $500 on a processor. Like if it's an upper tier processor, where you can just get the kit for just a little bit more plus memory and a motherboard, or vice versa. Because as we know, that's the only way we can get away with getting rid of uh, the whole pricing uptick instead of purchasing one single component. But I would imagine like this out of curiosity, though, out of the Micro Center kits, there's probably a ton of those motherboards or CPUs that is on eBay because some people are just trying to aim for the memory itself or the CPU itself. Nope, getting lower tier until after CES. Yeah, I get it. I wish I had a GPU and RAM bundle. Yeah, it would be nice. They should have like an upgrade bundle, right, guys? Yeah, 7600 XGD is awesome. We just did a build. Thank you, Ezekiel, for letting everybody know. Um, have you ever been near any bats or any research? Had not have gotten a chance. I plan to next year though. When we get to Taiwan next year, I will work on trying to. We'll get some access and we can get into a research lab. I switched over from Manjaro Linux to. How do you like Casio OS? By the way, a lot of people love it. By the way, from what I hear. Um, There's so many different distros when it comes to Linux. Oh, Modern Warfare 2. Is it the original one or the remake? Kashi is fun. I'm glad you're loving it. Oh yeah, which bundle deal did you end up getting, Diesel? That's the way to go. You got to go with the I'm a Linux guy. Linux, there's going to be more Linux guys. You're going to see this slow shift. In fact, let's go to the Steam survey of June. Because I just looked at this the other day. And take a look here, OS version. So Linux, you got about 3.69% on Linux, which is increasing compared to what it used to be. Back then, it was only like about roughly about like maybe 1% of people were on Linux. But expect this to go up, especially in July. You're going to see a big uptick in Linux. So you got 3.69% of people on Linux. I'm Linux and Windows on different PCs. Hey, that's the way to do it. 8 months as a Linux user, and I'm not going back. Steam is biased towards Linux. Hey, I think they're more for Linux than anything. You mean I get biased, right? 9800 X3D with MSI 870E. That's a good kit to get. Did you get to do your build altogether? I heard a rumor that Microsoft is no longer forcing people into making Microsoft accounts. Oh, really? I mean, why would they do that anyway? I think that was the biggest gripe many people had. And Microsoft says, F you, just create an account. And in fact, we're going to disable it. We're not going to have a bypass for that. We're not going to allow you to bypass. And I know you guys know the bypass for that. Linux is a pinnacle of that. So is Android based on Linux kernel. Absolutely. And again, on the GPU side, GPU front, if you guys are curious, there also has been more of an uptick on the 9070 XTs, 0.03% up. So more people are answering that they are getting 9070 XTs, which is positive, which is right here highlighted. Now, if you compare it to, say, RTX 5070 Ti, let's see. You have about 1.68, so almost an even split between the two. So you got an uptick of 5070 Ti users too. Linux is the most, it is. And you guys might try to argue, no, there's no way it's not. It is. And the reason being is because it's in everything. It's in everything that you use every day. There's actually appliances and not just appliances, but there's other things besides PCs itself that use Linux as well, specifically even on phones. Can't wait to get rid of Windows. Just waiting on Linux to get around with the anti-cheat kernel and some. I think that's the biggest debate. A lot of people want to be able to play Battlefield 6 comfortably, for example. Find a way with the Javelin anti-cheat. Exactly. That's right, Smitty. I'm on the move a lot. My laptop is slow, but my Wi-Fi is fast. Remote desktop with touchscreens make the mouse lag. Not noticeable, but got a beast at home searching for the P. Yeah, that's funny. That's a hilarious thing. Remote is a very interesting. It's very interesting what you can do remotely, but they could do more with anti-cheats. But yeah, right now they're currently working with EA on an anti-cheat, and specifically, if you guys don't know, EA is more bigger onto the whole Fortnite side. So can you imagine moving Fortnite into something like into like SteamOS or into Linux? Yes. Thank you, Smitty. Google Chrome. Excuse me. Ooh, that was one that was stuck. Game developers are lazy. I can agree with you because we've seen it. Now they're forced to work on hardware and they're like, oh man, now we got to really optimize because NVIDIA or AMD is not coming out with hardware anytime soon. So that means we can't really, we have to actually focus and try to make our game actually work a bit better. Fortnite. Yeah, I know. But you can imagine all the Fortniters are definitely excited about something like this. Windows just pushes too much at me, so that's why I went Linux. I can agree. So I got a great question for you guys. Do you think Steam? Do you think Steam will? Well, I shouldn't say Steam. Do you think Xbox will still work with Steam. Next gen, I should say. Project Helix. Project Helix. So do you think Project Helix Xbox will end up still working with Steam? Or do you think Steam is kind of ruining it at this point? Because now that they're so focused on work with Linux. Windows is getting pretty bad. You have to hack it to make it usable. Especially with all. So Smitty believes that they will. Yeah, you know, there are some things that do help when it comes to the whole new 26H1. I think they should be on. Another thing is with the whole 26H1, they have some optimizations in there that can actually help your CPU perform a bit better. I just hope that they remove more of the problems when it comes to background processes, because that's the biggest issue when it comes to, I gotta say, Windows, is the background processes are absolutely unnecessary. If you have if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM and it's using 8 gigabytes, okay, I get it. 16 gigabytes, maybe it's not enough. But anyway, if you choose to upgrade, there's no need for it to say, okay, now we need 16 gigabytes of RAM instead of just 8 gigabytes. It makes absolutely no sense. So that's something that they certainly have to optimize. So what do you guys think? Do you think Project Helix Xbox will still work with Steam? Especially that Steam is working on anti-cheats itself and has its own OS. Do you think that Project Helix will back off of the whole Microsoft side and say, you know what? We're not interested in working with Steam anymore? Or do they feel that they need to work with Steam digitally and say, hey, Steam's been around for a long time. There's a lot of PC users that still use Steam, and that they will have their library for ongoing, because as many of you know, Steam will definitely hold on to a lot of the titles that you purchased, especially even back in the 2000s. So Steve says, I am on Kashi OS using 3.3 gigabytes of RAM on Windows 11, is using 8.5, watching a. That sounds about right. Connect Windows to a domain that has a group policy applied and permissions. Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does. It feels limiting at a time because you want to be able to have the freedom to be able to work on your products. It's a win-win for both companies if they work together. It makes sense, Smitty. So what do you guys think? You can vote by putting 1 or 2. So far, Smitty has voted. And let me know what you guys certainly think of that. Do you think that this will actually happen? Do you think that Microsoft will continue working? Microsoft claims its legacy that keeps higher. Then strip it. It's pretty easy. Stop using AI to stop. Oh, you just put 1 or 2 hidden. Sorry about that if you don't know how to vote. You just put 1 or 2 and that changes the poll. And 1 is for yes and 2 is for no for anybody that doesn't know how to vote. I know it looks like a GUI and you can click on it, but unfortunately it's not. You just put 1 or 2 because it's cross-platform practically. Microsoft just released on Linux. Yeah, I know, but it's not good. I mean, I don't have enough information. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's difficult to form an opinion until Microsoft's been kind of secretive recently. Don't you guys agree? Like, they haven't really said too much. They're kind of more on the silent page on everything here. But I gotta say, it's not meant for a desktop. Yeah, that's typically what it's for. But I'm really interested in trying to get this to work out. A case like this. Let's see. See, I would love to see what we can do. Do a Steam build through something like this, which can be done. And I wonder, it just makes me wonder how modifiable it is, because this seems like it would be interesting enough to do. And I could see why it could have cooling issues because you only have the one fan. So the trick is getting enough airflow. Obviously, we wouldn't need any of these drives here, so we could clear that space. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. I think someone should build the biggest theme box. That would be pretty funny, actually. I want to see a little case kicks. Yeah, absolutely. One fan. Yeah, I know. One fan's a terrible idea. I thought about using that case not for Steam build, but for that. Yeah, I wanted to do a network attached system until they fucking messed up the pricing when it comes to the storage. That was terrible, by the way. Steam does take a lot of money on games. Microsoft would rather have users go through their own store. I could see that. I could absolutely see that. You can always custom mount a couple fans, maybe some 92 millimeters. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of going more uh, fanless. Probably go more fanless, but again, it could be more costly because of that. Like, just imagine if it was more of a fanless design, it could work because then it would be based on more of like vapor chambers. But it's but I gotta really look into it. I gotta really think of how to get it to work right. Yeah, like something like even just like what Hidden says with the external water cooler that would actually work under desk cooler. Under yeah, yeah. There you go. Trying to get maximized airflow out of it is the trick. But I'm definitely interested in that. If not, then if this case doesn't work, there are other options. I don't want to do a case like this because I feel like many people go through probably use something like this for a typical case. Um, then they got the N3 blacks. These are cubish. The C6 handle. That's interesting. That's a very interesting style too, because you can actually grab that and pick that up to the go. And max display cards 255 on this too. Yeah, I'm curious about the modifications that can be done on something like this. Of course, I wouldn't suggest anybody new to building PCs to mess with this because it definitely it takes more figuring out to figure out how to get the physics of airflow working correctly, uh, and trying to get the maximum performance out of a small machine like this, and trying to keep it 100% cool because you don't want it to thermal throttle. Then of course it affects performance that way. Front and bottom fans on that one. Yeah, this will work on something like this. This makes more sense because you can have two airflows. You have a two intake, and this is going to be obviously exhaust here. Excuse me. Two intake and exhaust. That would certainly work. But yeah, definitely going to weigh on some options here. I do like the Cooler Master idea too, that Hidden has mentioned. Um, let me see, Cooler Master. Let me see. Off topic, but Battlefield is running slow. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it's running slow, even with the new updates. Prime with the new updates. Lee, hear me out. I'll put it on a laptop. That would be funny. Three fans, perfect for your. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. PC cases, mini ITX here. Let's go super mini here. Is it this one? The an R200P. This one's an interesting one. Let me see. Let's see if they got more pictures here. Comprehensive GPU support. Let's go here to the side. I miss the old Cooler Master Elite 110s. It sounds like a jet doing, yeah, that's not good. It's an interesting case though. I'm curious about the other side though. On the other side of it, is there also a fan hookup? OG ITX case at its finest. What I would do is I would try out other games besides Battlefield and see how it's running then. If it feels very slow and choppy, it could be the driver itself more than likely if it's running really slow and choppy, or some sort of update. So if it is, you're gonna have to uninstall the display driver, uninstall the GPU driver, and then reinstall it, and it should run better then. You get 2 fans on top, so 1 slim, 1 regular on the bottom. Okay. That's okay. So you get 2 fans on. That's no wonder why. Because it's hard for you to actually get more cooler air. If you, it allows more exhaust than intake, and that causes less positive pressure into the case. And if that's the case, that's definitely the issue. Oh, 4 fans total. Wait, 2 fans on the top, 1 slim, 1 regular. Oh. And you probably adjusted the PWM controls, right? I would assume you probably adjusted those for it to work. Because if it's in a case like this, you would have to make sure to have a higher RPM for the intake fans. I think that would be the biggest key. Pixel 2. Yeah. 8-bit pixel case. Two. Okay, 2. Let's look at the 2. Just out of curiosity here. Japanese pixel case. Now these are just the phones. That definitely gonna have to send me the link on it. I had to put 6,500 RPM intake on the bottom to keep it from throttling. It blows like a. That's not good. If that's the case. No, yeah, that's all right, Analysis. I'll stream again sometime soon. I had to make up for my lost streams anyway, so I'll probably stream again on Monday or something. But fam, guys, I appreciate everybody's time today. Hopefully you guys had a awesome stream. I'm glad to be back. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy the stream. I do appreciate /Bills. I appreciate Lee. I appreciate Smitty for being a big part of the chat. Of course, Hidden Bull, Rhino. I gotta thank our wonderful Dark Style, Bob, Steve, Wasabi. I gotta thank Tin Foil. And I also gotta thank Ezekiel for popping in as well, and Jamil, Diesel, all of you guys. So, fam, guys, I appreciate everybody for joining into this wonderful stream, and hopefully, I will be 100% recovered by that Monday. I'm glad you guys have fun. Yes. Hopefully, I'm 100% healed by then. Thanks so much for watching, and take care and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again, Pixel. Thank you, Smitty.